This is the key to finally getting the answers that you have been looking for. If you have been waiting to get a diagnosis about which autoimmune condition you have, if you've already been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition but are still waiting for answers as to how you can get better, this is the key to it. In this live session, I'll be taking you through a completely different approach, a different way of thinking about what it takes to get better, what it takes to heal from any kind of chronic illness, in particular autoimmune conditions where there is a whole range of different symptoms which keep changing over time, symptoms that keep coming and going, seemingly unconnected symptoms, right? So it makes it really difficult to get either a diagnosis or a treatment, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. If you don't, you may not know me, my name is Anindita. I am a functional medicine certified health coach and a functional medicine practitioner, and I help women reverse their symptoms by listening to their body's wisdom, by making their body their guide with a functional medicine approach. If you like what I have to say today, I have you can schedule a free discovery call. Here I will help you to figure out the interconnectedness between your symptoms and your environment and determine what your next steps should be. It's we'll go through a simple and a doable plan. It's a free 30 minutes call. If you're interested in scheduling that, make sure that you go to the link in the bio and schedule it, and I'll be dropping in the link below as well. So we are often led to believe that others have all the answers, right? That the answer is actually external. All the answers are, whether it's the diagnosis that we have been waiting for, whether it's the treatment, whether it's the medication, whether it's even knowing what step to take, all the answers we have been led to believe lie outside of us, right? And some of them do, of course, which medications, which treatments, etc. Those are external, but I believe that majority of the answers has to come from within us, right? Things like what are the foundation, how do we lay the foundations of good health? What are the things that I need to prioritize? Whether it's sleep, whether it's stress, whether it's good gut health, right? Improving gut health. All these foundational aspects can only come from within you, not from some external data, external lab necessarily, right? Again, just to remind you that it is important to get a diagnosis, to get a proper treatment, to meet with the medical professionals. It is never a either or approach in the case of any chronic illness or any illness for that matter. All of this has its place, but when we are only dependent or severely dependent on all these external factors, that's where the problem lies, right? Because what happens is that we become stuck, we become disempowered, because we also believe that all of the answers, all of the guidance, and every step that we need to take will necessarily come from outside of us, will come from experts, will come from the lab data, so we'll have to keep waiting, right? And we do that. We keep waiting and we keep waiting to get the answers. We keep waiting to get a confirmation. We keep waiting to get advice, all the time that we get sicker and sicker, not realizing that many of the things that constitute good health, the key aspects of laying down a good foundation, right? It is irrespective of what disease you have, whether it's creating good gut health, whether it's a good diet, whether it's stress management, whether it's lowering the toxin load in your body, in your environment. All of these are aspects that do not necessarily mean that you need to keep waiting, right? So that's what I'm talking about today. So a lot of these aspects you don't need to keep waiting for. You can actually get started today where you are with whatever you have right now. And the key to getting better, the key to finally get the answers that you have been looking for as to what is it that is really keeping you sick. Why is it that even when you actually are starting on a medication, you're not getting better, is because you don't know what is really going on. And you're looking for answers, as I said, outside of you. So the key to getting that is to understand that your body is a guide and that healing is a journey, right? So it starts with changing the way that we think about uh, getting better or healing, because healing is certainly possible even if there is no cure for a particular illness. Healing is about mind, body and spirit, so it is always going to be possible to improve aspects of our emotional health, physical health and spiritual health, right? But the key to getting better starts with realizing that healing is a journey, and the journey is an internal journey and an external journey, so inside and outside of you. So that's why it encompasses the physical, spiritual and emotional aspects of your health, and that you need the mindset of an explorer to do this. So I call this the empowered explorer. So you move from being stuck as a disempowered patient to an empowered explorer. That's when you start seeing the changes. And the most important part of this is that your body is your guide, and your body is the best guide that you can possibly have, right? Because you will get a sense of whether you're on the right track, if there's any changes that you need to make, if there's any tweaks that you need to make. All these things that you will get from your own body, you will not really be able to get from anywhere else. And as I mentioned, that you would need a guide, right? That's where your body comes in. That's where we have a feeling that our body has betrayed us, that our immune system has gone berserk, especially in the case of autoimmune conditions. And it's only when you realize that your body is actually the best guide that you have, and when you start treating it as a friend, is when you will see the changes start to take place. And apart from the experts, apart from the medications and the treatments, you will need this kind of a guide who will not lie to you, and a guide who has certainly not betrayed you. It's actually trying to keep you safe. Because there are two main things that I want you to sort of get from today's session. Like, if there's nothing that you take away from today's session, I just want you to take these two key points that I'm making today. One is your body is on your side. It may not feel like that. You may not feel or you may feel that your body is betraying you. Symptoms are all over the place, but there is a reason why your immune system is behaving this way, why your body feels or immune system feels threatened, and it's your responsibility to find that out and then to create an environment, a healing environment, which is exactly what my clients do. So that's one. So your body is on your side. And second is your body never lies, right? Even though our mind might be all over the place, we might have 60,000 thoughts during the day, and it might be difficult to figure out which thought, because thoughts are not real, they are not facts. But our body is in the present moment, which is why your body is not lying to you. So if you can get out of your head and get into your body, you'll get a lot of the guidance that you are desperately looking for. So again, two key things that I wanted to sort of emphasize today, and if this is the only thing that you take away from today's session, is that your body is on your side and your body never lies. So when you can assimilate this, when you can accept this and acknowledge this is a beautiful thing. That's when you can actually start making changes in your approach, in your mindset, and become an empowered explorer to explore your inner and outer world and figure out how you can actually create a healing environment around you so that you can support your body the way it needs you to. And that's when you start seeing things shift, and it is going to be irrespective of no matter how many symptoms you may have. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because you're getting finally the guidance you need. And this is a classic example of a client of mine who worked with me for about 6 months, and when she came to me, she had about 200 symptoms. And every 2 weeks I ask my clients to do a symptoms checklist, sorry. And when she used to do that, some symptoms used to keep shifting, right? And if we only go by the symptoms, it is very disempowering, because we don't know what we are dealing with. I mean, we, of course, she knew she had a couple of autoimmune conditions, but just knowing the name of that particular disease is not really going to be really useful, right? I mean, you know what you have, and maybe, of course, you can take some medicines for it and some treatment to prevent further damage. but after that what, right? You're not really getting better, and you know that. Because all these medications are doing is to manage your symptoms and prevent further damage, but it's not really doing anything to help you really get better, right? Lay the foundations of good health. So when this client came to me, she had more than 200 symptoms, and of course we try and figure out what are the symptoms and what's really going on, and we look at the diagnosis. All that is fine, but the symptoms keep shifting, they keep changing. So, and we are so much out of our body, we are so disconnected, as we grow older, we get more and more disconnected. That unfortunately, that's how society sort of conditions us to be. So we are most of the times in our head, and it's only when she started connecting with her body, with doing body scan and eating mindful eating practices, breath work. It doesn't have to be meditation only. When she started doing all that, that's when she started figuring out what was going to help her. So as I said, the answers have to come from you. Even I can't provide all the answers. I am sort of there as an accountability, as a partner, as an accountability partner, as a kind of another guide, but your main guide is your own body. So when she was able to get out of her head and into her body is when she started to figure out what was working for her, what was not working for her, and what she needed to change. And of course you get better and better at doing this, and when you start doing it, you start seeing the difference, right? You know your symptoms start reducing, you're on the right track, and if you're not, then you can actually change the direction. So all of these things actually are possible, no matter how many seemingly unconnected symptoms you are. But at the end of the day, you're one person, so everything in your body is interconnected. But it's hard to see the connections because there's so many things that are going on, right? So while I am trained to provide kind of a roadmap, your own body will give you the best guidance that you will ever need. All it's asking in return is your support, right? So again, leaving you with two things that I think are foundational. If you have any questions, make sure that you drop in the comments below. If you like what I had to say, drop in an emoji so I know that this is sort of resonating with you. If you're watching it on replay, just make sure that you drop in the questions, so I'll come back to you later. But the two main things that I want you to take away from today's session are: one, your body is on your side, even though it may not feel like that every day. It may not feel like that right now, especially if you have an autoimmune condition where your immune system seemingly has gone berserk. And number two, your body never lies, right? It's always in the present moment. It is neither in the past nor in the future, unlike our minds, which is why we need to learn how to ground ourselves from time to time if we want the answers that we have been looking for. And this is exactly what I help my clients do in my coaching program. I use something called a body guided approach, where my clients' own bodies actually tell them, so they are trained to listen to their body's wisdom, and it's possible for each and every one of us. Our body's wisdom is accessible for each and every one of us. We need to just learn how to do this, right? And you can do that. Each one of us can do that, and you can do that too. It is possible to take baby steps, and that's exactly what we did with this client. We had to literally take baby steps, and that's absolutely okay. But as you start taking the steps, you start feeling more and more confident because you know you're on the right track. That's the beauty of using your body, or relating to your body as your guide rather than your enemy. When you're on the right track, and when you're slightly off, and you can keep navigating better and better. So you move from being a disempowered patient who's stuck and looking for answers only externally from the lab data, from the experts only, and you move from that to being an empowered explorer, because you're exploring your inner and outer world. It's both, and that beautiful combination works, is really effective, right? So this is what I wanted to share with you, that the key to getting better starts with treating your healing as a journey and your body as your guide, with the having a mind and developing the mindset of an explorer. And I have opened up 10 spots in my calendar in the next couple of weeks for a free 30 minutes discovery call, where you can learn the interconnectedness between your symptoms and your environment, and just know that probably I can probably help you with what the next step would be for you. Like, what are the next steps? So it's like a simple and doable plan, just based on that one conversation, and what is the next step that will be most beneficial for you. So head over to the link in the post below, or head over to the link in the bio and schedule the free 30 minutes discovery call today.